Hello, everybody. I am Thomas, and this is Thomas and Jack Do Movies.
I'm Jack.
Yeah, he's Jack. Sorry, I forgot to let you say your name.
It's okay. Everyone knows.
Today, we're going to be ranking our top 10 favorite movies of 2019 because the year's over. It's 2020. So here we go. I'm gonna do, let's say, 2 movies, and he'll do 2 movies, and then we'll get going.
Starting at 10, going up to 1. Now, you want to start or you want me to start?
I'll start.
You start.
So, coming in at number 10, and I said I wasn't going to put this in the list, but I think it deserves to be in there, was Midway. So, Midway, if you didn't know what it was, it actually made quite a bit of cash for the size movie it was. But it was a movie, and it was good. My next movie on the list, number 9, is Shazam. Now, Shazam was an amazing movie. It was funny, it had heart, kind of pulls at the heartstrings a little bit, and I would highly recommend seeing Shazam. All right, you're up.
Number 10 for me, I have as well Shazam. And when he says emotional, for me, that's like, it's funny.
Funny emotion.
It's funny emotion. It's got that family dynamic, you know. I'm usually not a softie for movies, and I really wasn't for this one either. And the fact that DC that they made a good movie, you know, it just brought it up all that much. Okay, so number 9 for me is Toy Story 4. I am very much emotionally invested in the Toy Story series. Did I think they should have done a 4th one? I did not, but the movie itself was good. So, yeah, it was good.
All right, number 8 for me is a movie that his director I really don't like, and that's Knives Out.
What?
This movie was very good. It had some statements, and it had some great twists that I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed everything in this movie. It was a great whodunit, and subverted our expectations, but in a good way. Now, coming in at number 7 is a movie that I actually didn't think about till I had looked up the list of movies this year, but that's Glass. This movie was so good. It was one of the, probably one of the greatest third movies in a trilogy of all time. The way that they wrapped up Split and Unbreakable, and they just wrapped up all the stories very well. The imagery was really good. Shyamalan, obviously, an amazing director. But yeah, I would highly recommend seeing Glass. Very good movie.
Okay. And number 8 for me is How to Train Your Dragon 3. I am also emotionally invested in this trilogy, and I'm glad they just did a trilogy and ended it, unlike Toy Story. But it was great. I mean, I would say it's probably my second favorite How to Train Your Dragon movie. First one's still the best in my book, I think. But it's just a really heartfelt, entertaining How to Train Your Dragon movie, and that's at number 8. Number 7, I have Knives Out. Now, I hate the director, Rian Johnson, from a movie-making standpoint, especially because of The Last Jedi. And I really didn't enjoy Looper that whole lot, but I really...
You also watched it on a boat where you couldn't hear anything.
But this movie, it has some pretty good twists, you know. The actors are really what made it the greatest for me, because the actors are just so amazing.
All of them.
There were a few things I didn't like about it, but all in all, it's a really good whodunit movie, so yeah, kudos to him.
All right, coming in at number 6 for me, and that is Richard Jewell. The thing that makes this movie very good for me is the actors. Actors in this movie are amazing, and Richard Jewell is a great example of that. It was directed very well, and I just think that this movie was very good, and it definitely, I hope it gets an Oscar nomination. I don't think it will because of its kind of more right-wing undertones, but I think that it's a very good movie. Coming at number 5 is from Martin Scorsese, The Irishman. Now, this movie was really long. Like, insanely long. Like, 3.5 hours long. But it was also really good. Like, it has a TV show effect where after the first hour is done, you're sucked in and you can't stop watching. I started this movie at 10 o'clock at night, thinking that I would watch an hour and then, go to bed. No, I watched 3.5 hour movie in the night, and it was very good. You're up.
All right. Number 6, I have Jumanji: The Next Level. Now, is this a technically great movie?
No.
Absolutely not. Is it filled with a bunch of plot devices and whatnot? Absolutely. But it's also a video game movie, so I give it a pass because video games have those MacGuffins or whatever, and it's just crazy entertaining. The actors, do they do like the most amazing acting job in this movie? No, but they're so fun to watch. It's just, this is just such a fun movie to watch. I was entertained for the entire 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's at number 6, just because it's entertainment, and it does have a decent story. Number 5, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, this is just where the movies start to get so amazing on my list. It's just, man, the actors, Brad Pitt and DiCaprio, like, you can't get better than that, really. They're so good in this movie. They're amazing. Just them together is the best combination I have ever seen
of actors.
Actors. Like, and the story has a great subverting of the expectations at the end. Like, one of the best I've ever seen. And it's just so good. I loved it so much.
All right. So coming in at number 4 for me, and this is where my opinions start to get kind of divisive, but 1917. So I technically didn't see this movie in 2019, but it did come out, so I'm putting it on this list. 1917 was insane. If you don't know what it is, it's a one-shot war movie where it's cut together to seem like it's all one shot, and it's cut together. There are like 5 maybe hidden cuts, but yeah, I mean, there's one moment in the movie where you're so drawn in because you seem like you're there with them because the camera is following them and you're the camera basically. So there's one point in the movie where I literally thought I was going to throw up my heart because it was like, whoa! Like, it was better than any jump scare I have seen in any movie. And I like looked around the theater like, are we all good? We're okay? We're okay? Like, it was insane, and man, that overall was just an amazing movie, and that's why it's in the top half of this list. Now, coming in third place is Avengers Endgame. I love this movie. Don't get me wrong. I've said some negative things in the past, which are viable still, but I absolutely love this movie. It is my top 3 just because it's that good. It's the ending to the MCU. I really don't think I need to say any more about Avengers Endgame. It's amazing. You're up.
Okay. Number 4, I have John Wick Chapter 3. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, from 5 up to 1, they're just such great movies. Like, this movie, I mean, it's John Wick to the max. Like, so the body count, you lose track after like 3 minutes into the movie. It's just like, boom, 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 dead, shoot, gun.
No, knives.
Yeah,
and book,
knives.
Book, and book. Like, in the first 3 minutes, it's book.
There's so many knife and book deaths in this movie. It's insane. But even the story, like, around that, they managed to craft a really good story that connects to the other 2 movies and also sets up for a sequel that will most likely be really good and really intriguing and entertaining.
Yeah.
It's just, and I just love it so much. This was the first John Wick movie I saw in theaters. I did a review on it too, and it's just, boy, it's so good. I love it so much. So entertaining. Oh, yeah. And then number 3, Ford versus Ferrari. I really just say the same thing that I say about the other 2. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Like, the casting is so good. It's super entertaining.
Very well acted.
The story of it, again, like the other 2, is so good. It's, man. And I love cars, so that makes it all the
being a car person like elevates that movie.
Does. If you're not a car person, you'll love it, but if you are, you'll love it even more.
Yeah.
I mean, the racing, the sound, like when they're racing, it's like, and it's just such a satisfying sound for me. I love it so much, and boy, it's just so great. I loved it.
Yeah. All right, so before I talk about my first 2, I'm gonna mention a couple honorable mentions. So actually, replace Midway with John Wick Chapter 4, Chapter 3. Midway's an honorable mention, and also I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Jumanji Next Level. That was a very good movie. Also Toy Story 4. So those are my 3 honorable mentions. Coming in at number 2 is Joker. Joker is an extremely well-crafted movie. Super entertaining, amazingly well acted. I mean, this movie is just amazing. So you do your 2, and then I'll do 1.
All right. I really don't have any honorable mentions. I guess Midway is pretty good. It Chapter 2 is decent. Far From Home, I guess, is an honorable mention. It didn't make it on my top 10 because I changed my mind from the comic book ranking. I think Shazam is just that much better than Far From Home, because Far From Home was just a little underwhelming for me. But yeah, that's an honorable mention. So number 2 for me is Joker, and this movie's just so good. Like he said, it's just so well crafted, and I really want to put it at number 1. I just can't make myself do it, especially because like all my other rankings have the next movie number 1, and you all know what it is. But like, I just put it at number 2. It's probably better than the next one, but it's really good.
All right, so my number 1 movie of this year was Bombshell. So well crafted. All the actresses are amazing. No, I'm kidding. My number 1 movie this year is Ford v Ferrari. Ooh. Now, hear me out, okay? This movie, as a car person, I love cars. Cars, like, ever since I was a kid, like, my dad used to watch NASCAR. I watched the Cars movie 1,000 times when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Cars. I've always loved cars. Race cars, trucks, ATVs, any car. Anything with 4 wheels. And this movie just, like, is the best movie centrally centered around cars that I've ever seen. It's so good. It's so well acted. It's in the end race. I wouldn't have it on top if it weren't for that end race scene. And this has caused me to do a ton of research about the real story, which gave me more appreciation for the movie itself. So yeah, it's just amazing and like insane. I love that movie so much, and it's my number 1 movie of this year.
Okay, guys. So number 1 on my list is obviously Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh man,
like at the end when Rey goes, "And I am Iron Man," and then snaps, I was like, shoot. Yeah. And then when Falcon comes out of hyperspace and says, "On your left," and then or Finn's like, "Whoa." Oh wait, shoot. Endgame. Oh. Dang it. Endgame's number 1. Gosh dang it. That part when Iron Man goes, "And I am Iron Man," and snaps, like, bro.
Amazing.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. See those goosebumps?
I see the goosebumps.
There are goosebumps. It's so good, man.
Yeah.
But this movie is I'm so emotionally invested in this. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I usually don't get emotional about movies.
He cries easily in movies.
I cried 4 times.
Me too.
But this movie, I did, and I got more emotional about this movie than I did about any of the other movies on the list. I just gotta put it at number 1. I love it so much. I will say, like, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that 2, 3, 4, and 5 on this list are
also
better
close.
movies.
Yeah.
Technically, but this movie, I just love it so much. So it's at number 1. Also, if you want to know, Star Wars is second to last on my list. Like, I have
of the worst movies.
Yeah, of the worst movies, it's second to last because I hate it.
Captain Marvel is the word. No, I'm just kidding.
No. So yeah, that was our list of the top 10 best movies of 2019.
Yeah.
We do know it's been a couple weeks into 2020, but
we haven't gotten a chance to get in the studio.
Together, so we finally did. That was our list. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Tell us your own list in the comments, because we really do care, because we want to see what weird opinions you have.
Yeah.
Not that our opinions aren't weird, but
even if you saw like 2 movies, which one was better? I need to know, That's just tell us. It's cool. And we'll comment. We'll be like...
We'll comment back.
That's a freaking awesome list, bro. But we disagree, because ours is better.
Heck yeah. Hey, Paul Rudd has one of those.
One of the slave ones?
No, that grill.
Green egg.
Green egg.
I have a green egg grill and a slave one Lego thing.
Anyway, and that's one thing. Clint Eastwood movies are always hit and miss, but besides 15/17 to Paris, his casting has always been amazing in his movies. Like, he rarely messes up a casting. Great example of this would be American Sniper. Bradley Cooper is so well cast as Chris Kyle. He's a really good caster, that's for sure. Shoot! I forgot about that one. I actually bought it here recently. And man, I watched it again, and I don't know, there was something about watching it on a smaller screen. I was watching it on my computer that wasn't in big theater. Like, I saw it in IMAX, and there was just something about watching it on a smaller screen that just made you appreciate how well crafted it is, because it seems well crafted on the teeny screen. Like, so that just levels it up to an insane level.
That's the next movie. That's the next video, though. Top 10 worst, right? Are we doing that?
Yeah, we can film that.
All right, let's do it. Peace
All
out,
right, so
guys.
hey guys, welcome to Thomas. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
All right.
We never know how to start these things.
No, we really don't. We just sit here and blabber for a bit before we begin.
Yes, we do.
All right, let's do this.